I accidentally transferred the chat history I sent to my girlfriend to my ex-boyfriend. 180 tall, 20-year-old male big brother. Baby, ask for sharp comments. I excitedly forwarded the chat history between me and my 20-year-old brother to my best friend, but accidentally went to my ex-husband's brother by mistake. Ex-husband's brother. Seconds back, before I could withdraw it, I received a message from my ex-husband, Colbert Cat, about his yin and yang weirdness. Yo tilde, there's a lot of business. I see you're busy. Don't be in a hurry to withdraw. I haven't finished reading it yet. Yo tilde, the voice salutation is very intimate. What is my brother doing? It's smoking. My brother's mouth is so sweet. Is that man's voice a slipper? Still sweet. I think you're in the water. Haha tilde, I'm a little bit of a sniffer of you both. A clip and a phlegm love. In order to shut him up, I also replied in a weird way, yes, it's my shitch to send you a message. After I got back, I didn't bother to pay attention to him, turned off the lights and went to sleep. When I woke up, the sky fell, the phone blew up, and I looked at the messages that kept popping up in the phone in a daze. And for a moment I was really red. I've thought about it for half my life, whether I made some explosive remarks yesterday and was bullied by the internet. The phone froze for several seconds, and then clicked in to take a look. It was sent by my ex-husband's brother. 99 plus messages and multiple calls. Click on Wesh It to take a look, and turn to the top. Do you miss me? If you want me, you'll get back together. Come and meet. Don't reply to messages, hanging me, and then go find your cute brother. Ha tilde, laughing to death. I don't really want to get back together. Don't you have a cute brother? I don't want 3. I wish you both, for a long time. Let's do it. Really not getting back together. Finally give you a chance. Reunite. No. Why don't you reply to the message? In the end, he actually broke the defense. If you don't get back together today, you have to get back together. What do you mean? You reply to my message. It's okay to have a punctuation mark back. Shall I beg you? Don't talk to him. Talk to me. I'll show you my abs. He immediately posted several photos of his abdominal muscles at a scheming angle. Don't you reply to punctuation? Where are you talking? Can I join? Back message. I'll transfer money to you. Can you reply to my message? Colbert Cat transferred tens of thousands of dollars to me, one by one. I flipped down. I smiled when I looked at it. Colbert Cat, you also have today. As I flipped through it, I got a call from my best friend, Anna Kipling. Modesty Lori. Yuko, what the hell did you do to Colbert Cat? Caused him to cry in the live broadcast room yesterday. On the other end of the phone, her tone was excited and accompanied by applause. I didn't do anything. It's just the big male brother I met a few days ago, and I chatted with him for a while, and I wanted to send it to you for a review, but I accidentally sent it to him. When I woke up, he went crazy and bombarded me with messages. There was the sound of my best friend, Anna Kipling, laughing wildly. I'll send you a video of him being saved crying during his live broadcast. In the video, Colbert Cat is live, but does not show his face. Just as the live stream climaxes, Colbert Cat finished the game with 5 kills, and everyone was asking Colbert Cat to show his face. His cold voice sounded, and he only responded, I'll reply to a message. Don't open it yet. Then there was a sound of anger from his side. My brother's mouth is so sweet. Is that man's voice a slipper? Still sweet. I think you're in the water. Haha tilde, I'm a little bit of a sniff at you both. A clip and a phlegm love. Just when the netizens and his teammates were confused, the sound of Colbert Cat gritting his teeth came from his side again. Yo. Don't reply to messages. Wow tilde, you're awesome. If only it were the same for other men. Reunited. Compounded. Let's get back together. I'm rich, beautiful, and single-minded. What does he have? Clear stupidity. Haha. Netizens who broadcast live suddenly exploded, and the comments went crazy. What's this? Colbert Cat is in love with the brain. Didn't expect Colbert Cat to be such a person. Colbert Cat, you're a big part of the circus, a big customer of Spider-Man. Colbert Cat, you should learn to change your face. You are cold in front of people, humble and courting in the back, and people still ignore you. Ha ha ha. Watching fun, coming, rewarding. This is the purpose of my internet access. Some people watch fun. Some people look in the mirror. This sister is really good. Fish my brother like this. Colbert Cat's failure is a warm sight to watch. And it should be rewarded. Joker Colbert Cat, your pronoun. Then Anna Kipling sent me another video of Colbert Cat hugging a dog and crying. Listening to Colbert Cat's cry of the dog, I became more and more happy. Who told him to be cold and violent to me in the first place? His teammates listened to his jokes for 2 hours. Netizens also watched his live broadcasts for a long time. Later, his good brother helped him turn off the air. This matter directly rushed to the hot search. In the early hours of the morning, Colbert Cat posted several more Weibo posts. I've seen it. It's just that her sign doesn't like to talk. It's not that she doesn't want to pay attention to me at all. The hot comments below this comment are, I wanted to play a cold and ruthless handsome guy, but it turned out to be a big licking dog looking forward to replying to the news. Colbert Catjoker is synonymous with you, and now the whole network knows it. Ha 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 ha. Then he sent a second one. Treasure, why ignore me? Didn't I choose the group message? Treasure, can you fish me when you're fishing? And can you block me when you make your relationship with him public? I can't stand it. Am I your spare tire? That's fine. Can you reply to a message? Netizens commented, brother, haven't you sobered up yet? Still retaining. At this point, everyone fell asleep in bed with their arms together. Colbert Cat breaks back. Impossible. After that, a crying emoji was added. I really admire the writing of netizens. I thought Colbert Cat had changed and wouldn't make up for what he didn't. Is a cold male god in the esports circle? Apparently not. I flipped through the comments at the bottom and saw one comment that shocked me. Who is this sister, fishing my brother like this? Has anyone picked her up? When I saw this message, I immediately deleted the comment that I wanted to laugh at Colbert Cat. Can't be provoked? Can't be provoked? I didn't expect this comment to be followed by a lot of people, and it was all about me. Some people guessed that I was inside, and many others guessed that I was outside, but fortunately I didn't let Colbert Cat reveal my identity at the time. It's scary. I didn't reply to Colbert Cat's message. After all, this person had hurt me. Keeping his weshit is also decent for him. I bowed my head in contemplation, hiding the emotion in my eyes. After chatting with my best friend Anna Kipling for a while, I went to the studio. When I came to the studio, Sabina pulled me out. Sabina is my bosom friend, and she is the one who has brought me to where I am now. It has a place in the modeling industry, and is known as the pearl of the modeling industry. Modesty Lori, I've got you a job. Heroine of a game. I wondered, why did Koss find me? I'm a model. Because this hero is the most popular heroine in the recent fire. The glory related to you. They are looking for someone to promote Koss. But I'm afraid that if I can't find the right person, I will be disgusted by netizens. What about this heroine? With a height of 175, an angel's face, and a devilish figure. Originally, it was supposed to be a popular actress to endorse Koss, but the actress later found a reason to refuse, and the organizer put it in the modeling industry in a fit of anger. I saw that you were very suitable and submitted the information, but I didn't expect it, and they were very satisfied. Today I'm going to take you to try on Xia's costume, and if you can pass this, you'll basically be able to decide. You should know about this heroine. I saw you post on Moments before. I know this game and this hero quite well, because I played this game with my ex-husband brother Colbert Cat, and he took me, and I took this heroine to a high rank. I snuggled up in Colbert Cat's arms that day, and I was excited to post several moments at that time. After Sabina took me to try it out, the other party was very satisfied with me, so I settled on it and signed the contract on the spot. When I was going out, I bumped into an oncoming Colbert Cat around the corner. Colbert Cat was wearing sunglasses, and her face was cold and clear, and she was visibly stunned for a moment when she saw me. At this time, I hadn't changed into my Koss costume, and had heavy makeup on my face, but he still recognized me at a moment. We both spoke up almost at the same time. Sabina spoke up. You two know each other? I was the first to speak. I don't know. I pulled Sabina and walked away, and as I passed by Colbert Cat, I could clearly feel his gaze looking back. Sabina leaned back on the makeup table, and looked at me as I removed my makeup. Are you sure you don't know him? How do I feel you have a story? I shook my head weakly. No, what's wrong? That's nothing. It's just that you're going to have to shoot a propaganda pitch together then. What? I let out a high-pitched popping sound. Why are you so excited? When I reacted, I quickly waved my hand. It's okay. It's okay. You're a hero, CP. I stared at Sabina with wide eyes and swallowed. The contract was also signed, and I thought it was over, and I couldn't hide from it. Sabina patted me suspiciously. What's wrong? You two really have a story. Heh. Shoot with a handsome guy, and there's no loss. By the way, did you watch his live stream last night? I shook my head again with little confidence. Sabina hissed, thought of something, and instructed me. He cried in the live broadcast room yesterday for his ex-girlfriend. It's love brain. When the time comes, pay attention to the proportions and don't make a fuss. I laughed awkwardly and got up, and said I was going to the bathroom. As soon as he was about to enter, a familiar conversation came from the sink of the men's restroom next to him, from Colbert Cat and his good brother Ron James. If I don't wear sunglasses, am I shameless? Who told you to cry like anything yesterday? And who is not swollen in your eyes today? Isn't it just a breakup? It is necessary. Yes, Colbert Cat replied earnestly. Big brother, it was you. The voices were getting closer, and apparently they had come out after washing their hands. I scrambled to dodge but was too late, and I ran into Colbert Cat's sight. Ron James saw me and swallowed again. Say hello to me awkwardly. What a coincidence. I've got to go beforehand. You're busy. I could only laugh. And it was just me and Colbert Cat. Colbert Cat didn't wear sunglasses, and I looked into his crying red eyes. Suddenly, one of my hearts softened. I voiced to lighten the mood, I'm going to the bathroom. As we passed by Colbert Cat, he took my hand. Look back at his impenetrable eyes. Colbert Cat stepped forward and lowered his head closer. I was inexplicably expecting what he would say. Looking at his close face, I saw his thin lips lightly opened. In a hurry, I almost couldn't hold back, shook off his hand, and said angrily, urgent, very urgent. Then he went into the toilet in a rage. I'm also nervous, so I have to listen to him, and a dog's mouth can't spit out ivory. I didn't see Colbert Cat when I came out. When I returned to the dressing room, there was laughter from inside. When the door opens, Colbert Cat and Ron James are in the room. When Ron James saw that it was me, he immediately raised his hand and said, hi. Still smiling awkwardly, I walked over to Sabina. Ron James suddenly spoke. Miss Modesty Laurie, do you have a boyfriend now? Don't get me wrong, I'm asking for a friend of mine. Hearing him say this, I looked at Colbert Cat, who was holding a drink, and he didn't pause or react. Seeing that I did not speak, Sabina answered for me. There should be none. If she has it, she will say it to me. However, this kind of thing still depends on Modesty Laurie's heart, and I will refuse your friend's heart for me. Thank you. I kept staring at Colbert Cat in the corner, and when I heard Sabina say no, the corners of his mouth hooked imperceptibly. But when he said no, he looked up at me. I dodged his gaze. Colbert Cat, who had been silent for a long time, spoke. Did you read the news? Such an abrupt sentence made Sabina stunned. What? I know Colbert Cat is tapping me. I smiled and explained to Sabina, not to ask us. Colbert Cat saw that I didn't reply, and asked again, did you see the message? No one answered, and the atmosphere suddenly became strange, and I replied, what a message? We didn't look at it. I don't know. Sabina echoed me in an awkward laugh. Modesty Laurie, I'll take you to change your clothes. Walking out the door, Sabina asked me with a look of confusion, was he stimulated by his ex-girlfriend? In order to, he's not right now. It should be. Sabina, she took me to try on the last outfit, that hasn't been out yet, as an Easter egg to herald the style of the next skin. Just as I was about to change my clothes, I realized that the clothes were really hard to take off, and Sabina went to discuss things with them. I couldn't take it off alone, so I came out of the changing room, intending to open the door and go out to find someone to help. As soon as I opened the door, I saw Colbert Cat lazily leaning against the door of the changing room. He was tall in his own right, and standing in the warm light at this time stretched his figure infinitely long. His head hung slightly, the wind blew through a few strands of his hair, and his eyes were deep. Not knowing what he was thinking, heard movement and looked up at me. I think we should talk. Talking about what? This is the women's changing room. So you can't talk about anything here. Go away. Colbert Cat didn't speak, just pulled me into the changing room. I was about to exclaim, but he covered my mouth and motioned for me to keep quiet. It's just the two of us here, and I want to talk to you. How do you know there's no one here? I asked. He said so and sat down casually. Say it. What's the matter? Colbert Cat crouched down, took my hand, and looked up at me. I realized that his eyes were redder, and there were tears. I avoided his gaze, unable to bear to look. A pop, a drop of warm liquid dripped onto the back of my hand. Colbert Cat cried. He cried. My brain crashed for a moment, not to mention, Colbert Cat is crying so much. I was still a little excited. Colbert Cat's choked voice rang out. I didn't forget your birthday. I didn't coldly violence you. They just said. They say the best way to keep you from knowing until you're ready to surprise is to. It's just cold for a while. I don't listen anymore. They talk nonsense. I was immediately laughed at. Are you a pig's brain? Do you believe that? He said with tears in his voice. You say yes. Yes. And what about my birthday present? I didn't see you give it to me since. I have something for you. You don't give it a chance. You're still moving. Who told you that the attitude you had towards me in those 3 days was, well, okay, no, whoever can stand it, then don't be angry. Okay, I'll give you a birthday present. I watched as he pulled out a box from his clothes, which contained a necklace that I had been looking at for a long time but hadn't bought. I once mentioned it to Colbert Cat, but he remembered it and kept it with him. Colbert Cat's voice rang out again. Can we get back together? I'm soft-hearted, but I don't know if my heart will be moved by him. I'll think about it. You can go back. Colbert Cat looked at me for a long time, and I couldn't stand it anymore. Then I'll put the necklace on you. Can you tell me why? I didn't hide it from him. I don't know my heart now, whether I can feel it because of you. Colbert Cat's eyes darkened when he heard this, but he didn't say anything. Colbert Cat got up and leaned over, and put the necklace on for me. A warm, slightly moist breath sprayed on my neck, and it was itchy. Colbert Cat whispered in my ear, okay. Suddenly an electric current rushed to my head, and I guess I blushed. Colbert Cat then turned to leave, but Sabina's voice could be heard outside the door. I frantically pulled Colbert Cat into the changing room, which was small, and Colbert Cat was so large that it seemed smaller. I could only huddle in Colbert Cat's arms. The sound of each other's heartbeats and breathing gradually amplified in the small space, and the atmosphere gradually warmed up. I listened to the movement outside the door, and Sabina was looking for me when she came in. Is Modesty Lori there? Yes, I'm changing my clothes. Sabina, you go out and wait for me. Sabina's footsteps grew closer and closer, until she stopped at the door and knocked on it. Modesty Lori, this dress is a little small. Would you like to help? No, no. I immediately refused, and Colbert Cat bowed his head, and buried his head in my shoulder. I whispered, what are you doing? Sabina heard a voice outside the door and asked, what's wrong? Oh, it's fine. Sabina, you go out and wait for me. Okay. The footsteps outside the door were far away, and I didn't dare to open a crack until I heard the door closing. Colbert Cat stepped out of it. Why are you hiding? I said solemnly. What should I do if I am misunderstood? And it's a women's changing room. Colbert Cat replied in a horrified voice. Oh, then I'll go out and wait for you first, and you go and change your clothes. After watching Colbert Cat go out, I forgot that I couldn't take off my clothes, and thought about calling Sabina, but I was too embarrassed to do so. I went back to the changing room, and looked behind and saw that the zipper was halfway down. Suddenly remembering just now, Colbert Cat suddenly approached warmly. His face turned red all at once. After changing clothes, I walked out of the changing room with my things, and looked up to see 3 people, all with eyes on me. Good guys. Sabina, Colbert Cat, and Ron James stood in the doorway waiting for me. Colbert Cat and Ron James looked visibly drooping, and being trained. At this moment, anyone with a discerning eye knows what is going on. I smiled sheepishly at Sabina. Sabina, I grabbed Sabina's arm coquettishly. Sabina looked helpless. Have you learned to hide it from me? I grinned and pulled her to the side and explained. Actually, Colbert Cat and I have broken up. You, his ex-girlfriend. I nodded, and Sabina was shocked. No wonder you seem to know each other. I clasped my hands together. Please, don't say it yet. It's all an accident. Good, good. Seeing me like this, Sabina didn't ask me any more questions. When it was time to go back, Colbert Cat offered, I'll send you back. I habitually say no. No. Why? Colbert Cat asked with a frown. After reacting, I didn't know what to say. The atmosphere gradually began to get delicate, and Sabina began to play around. Okay, all right. All of a sudden, my car ran out of gas, and I don't know what's going on. Hearing this, Colbert Cat took the car keys and smacked his hand. Ron James had already walked to the passenger seat and pulled the door, and when he saw that it couldn't be opened, he poked his head out and asked Colbert Cat, open the door. Hearing this, Colbert Cat's face sank visibly. My phone kept ringing along the way, and Sabina kept motioning for me to look at it with her eyes. Unexpectedly, Colbert Cat, who was driving, said, your phone keeps ringing. Don't you look? I didn't respond to Colbert Cat, but when I picked up my phone and looked at it, I saw that it was all Sabina's gossip. Colbert Cat glanced in the rearview mirror. Is that your big brother? All of a sudden, the car smelled of vinegar. The air condensed. No one moved, and no one spoke. Ron James looked at the phone in his hand with a smirk on his face, and said to ease the atmosphere, haha, you guys look at this phone, so beautiful. Sabina nodded in agreement. The phone does look good. After speaking, seeing that the atmosphere had not eased, everyone was so embarrassed that they didn't speak, and lowered their heads to play with their mobile phones. Colbert Cat said coldly, delete him. What? At the red light, Colbert Cat stopped the car, turned to look at me, and said, word for word, delete him. Why? I don't understand why it should be deleted. Colbert Cat's eyes darkened. Okay, it's okay not to delete it. Then don't talk to him. I'll talk to you. What are you talking about? Colbert Cat looked confident. Talk about your favorite before. How are my abs? There are other places. I coughed lightly to hide my embarrassment, and my eyes motioned for him to stop. But Colbert Cat clearly didn't pay attention to continue. I quickly covered my mouth, and covered it with laughter. Look at the car. Look at the car. It's green. Ha ha ha. Sabina and Ron James look great outside the window. I can only explain it to him. It's not him. I'll just leave Sabina and me at the door of the company. Sabina then spoke. Modesty Lori, you don't have a job today, so you can go back early. It's true that I can get off work at this point. After all, I haven't had anything to do lately. I thought about it and nodded. Okay. As Sabina was dropped off at the office, Colbert Cat looked at Ron James, motionless, with a look in his eyes that would tell you to get out of the car and not bother me. Ron James also got out of the car. As soon as the car turned on, I distinctly heard the phrase, see something that forgets your friends. I pointed to Ron James. Why did he get out of the car now? At the door of my company, he said he wanted to go to a nearby mall. I didn't think much of Colbert Cat when he said that. Why did you say something misleading? Colbert Cat was at a loss. What misunderstanding? After reacting, he explained to me. Did I say something misunderstood? Except for the abs. Isn't it your hero of course? I scratched my head. It turned out that I wanted to be crooked. Where's your home? I don't know yet. I'll send you your address on Weshit. Upon hearing this, the corners of Colbert Cat's mouth unconsciously hooked. Then let's get back together. I refuse. Nope. He responded in disappointment. Oh. After sending me home, Colbert Cat looked reluctant to ask for a hug. I hugged it at the gate of the community for a long time. I still like Colbert Cat's cold and haughty look. I finally let him go back on his own, and wait for me to come out after washing. I received a message push, and I clicked on it to take a look. It turned out that Colbert Cat posted Weibo as a circle of friends again. Several messages were sent in a row. I'll just say that her zodiac sign is the most compatible with me. In less than a day she ignored me, and she still loved me. Sent her home today. Yes, we hugged. What do you know? What a clown. She replied to my message. You are. Others earn 208W per day, and I can't help but miss you 208W times. Treasure. Miss you. Netizens have started to reorganize. Brother, you sent her home. Didn't you go up to sit down? You won't be back together. Colbert Cat replied, sooner or later. Look at these Weibo posts posted by my brother. My mouth is bursting with laughter. Colbert Cat, when you meet something good, can you not laugh? This brother's predecessor farted. and he felt that the spring breeze was coming. Colbert Cat, you don't understand the sweetness of love. By the way, we hugged today. The corners of my mouth twitched as I watched. The mobile phone Weshit prompts me to know who it is without clicking in. Colbert Cat, sleeping. My treasure. Me, can you be normal? Colbert Cat, missed me. Me. Colbert Cat, you're so cold. But that's okay. My heart is full of love for you. Me. Colbert Cat, the moon is so full today. It's like a heart that loves you every day. Me. Colbert Cat, please maintain your cool persona. Colbert Cat, okay. Colbert Cat, so when are you going to shoot on location tomorrow? I'll pick you up. Me. Call you then. Colbert Cat, okay. I'm always available. The next morning, when I went out, I met Asa Timothy, the cute brother who had just started college. He lives upstairs and I live downstairs, and I often meet him in the elevator, and every time I see him, he is full of smiles, and he has always been gentle and obedient and considerate. Hello sister, I nodded and smiled in response. Hello, does my sister have a job today? So early? Yes, it's been a bit busy these days. By the time Asa Timothy and I went downstairs, Colbert Cat had exploded like a mouse seeing a cat. Just about to introduce Colbert Cat, Colbert Cat looked at Asa Timothy defensively. Naturally, he took my hand, clasped his fingers together, and greeted Asa Timothy with a smile. Hello. Asa Timothy also smiled in response to reach out, but when she shook her hand, Asa Timothy's face changed. As the strength of my hand increased, the tips of my fingers began to white, and I looked at Colbert Cat with a look of composure, before he let go unhurriedly. I guess this is the younger brother you said about who just started college. Colbert Cat gritted her teeth, and the word brother grew heavier. I'm just wondering how Colbert Cat knows. Colbert Cat dragged me away, leaving only one sentence. My brother wants to go to school, and my baby and I will go first. How do you know he's just started college? Colbert Cat didn't reply. He buckled his seat belt on his own, and when he saw that I hadn't buttoned it yet, he turned around and helped me buckle it. I didn't say a word the whole time. I poked him in the arm. What's wrong? Colbert Cat's face twitched, and the words that came out were frighteningly cold. Not much. I probably guessed it when I saw him like this, and I kept asking, until Colbert Cat couldn't take it anymore, and in my confused look, opened the door, unbuckled his seatbelt, walked around the car, and finally locked the rear tire of the car and kicked it. Half a minute later, I got in the car and I burst out laughing. Said to him, cheaply, oops tilde someone seems to be jealous just now. Colbert Cat puffed and said firmly, no. Then let me see if it's really not. I snapped his head and made him look at me. Oh, it seems to be playing big. This guy's eyes are red, and he wants to cry. I have to say that Colbert Cat's expression really wanted to bully him hard. Colbert Cat overheaded. How happy are you talking to him? I think you're very, very, very happy. When I see you coming down, your mouth will go up to heaven with laughter. And the body is so close. Are you in love? Colbert Cat looked at me, with a dull look in his eyes, as if he had sprinkled a layer of dust. Nope. Hearing the answer, a faint starlight then lit up. I knew you didn't like his type. You liked me. No, you like me. The gloom on his face was swept away. I'm holding my forehead. Colbert Cat is really good at self-strategy, and it's very coaxing. After arriving at the show, I realized that I was going to shoot a wedding dress with Colbert Cat Hero CP today. When I came out in a pure white wedding dress with a bouquet, Colbert Cat's eyes flashed with amazement. He came up stupidly, took my hand, and said, let's get back together. I panicked. There were at least a dozen people present, who were busy working. His words were not big or small. Everyone could hear them, and I saw a movement in their hands. A fiery gaze was projected at the two of us. I immediately covered my mouth, and Colbert Cat reluctantly took my hand away. I want to get married. I want to be with you. I've been setting up the proposal scene for a long time. I've even figured out what our child is called. To shut up Colbert Cat, I covered his mouth with both hands, laughing at everyone. He casually found a reason to prevaricate. Colbert Cat is really. How embarrassing it is to read the lines at this time. Colbert Cat was about to say something, but I was in a hurry and leaned into his ear and said, compound, don't say it, please. When it came time to shoot, Colbert Cat read the lines, and Ben came to the final borrowed kiss. Colbert Cat kissed him directly, and I felt the soft touch of my lips as I parted with Colbert Cat's affectionate eyes. The heart beats faster, and the ears involuntarily heat up. My heart was beating like thunder, and sure enough, I couldn't help but be moved by him. Colbert Cat sensed my situation and deepened the kiss. The person who took the shot kept clapping, saying yes on his lips, and went over and over again. A kiss is loved, and a pure white flower is married. After the shooting, Sabina and her best friend Anna Kipling, who had just returned to China, surrounded her. Tut tut, it's so beautiful. How can our Modesty Lori be so good looking? Sabina looked at me, in my wedding dress with admiration. Kiss Colbert Cat is still really kissing. You haven't slapped him yet. You two are back together. What just happened? Sabina was still shocked, and the gossip heart suddenly ignited. When did you get together? How do you divide it? Anna Kipling replied. When I was in college, we were together, and at that time they were a couple group that everyone in the school admired, with high appearance and top-notch existence, and they were tired of being together every day, and they were also considered to be popular figures. They've been together for a while you're fishing for Modesty Lori, but they haven't revealed who they are. After all, both of them are engaged in the public, and neither wants each other to be harmed, and everyone knows that she has a boyfriend. But later, she said that Colbert Cat was cold and violent to her, but when I analyzed it, it wasn't like Colbert Cat was cold and violent, like there were people outside, so I broke up. Then how did I not know? Sabina pointed to herself. I replied awkwardly, I told you, but you didn't believe me. Sabina patted her head, as if she suddenly remembered something. I said, why did people pick you up every day when I first signed you? I thought it was your chauffeur. I also want to ask, how did you get back together? I don't think so. He said he went and prepared a gift for me, and gave me a necklace. I took out the necklace and showed it to them. That's it. Anna Kipling wondered. I think I still love him. Anna Kipling's disdainful eyes floated. I can see. You really love it. I just didn't understand why he asked me which one was better to choose at the time. And he didn't give you a ring. Are you sure he doesn't have anyone outside? Before I could reply, the phone in my hand started vibrating. It's a message from Colbert Cat. Can you come over tonight? Then an address was sent. Don't get me wrong. They said there was another place to shoot, and it was right here. Colbert Cat also made a special remonstrance. Remember to put on your wedding dress. Seeing that I wasn't talking, Anna Kipling and Sabina stared at their phones and looked at mesmerized, and leaned over to see. What does he mean by that? Sabina looked at her phone and frowned. Didn't you say you had finished your work today? I just asked the staff and said they could go. Anna Kipling took over. Is he going to confess to you? Does he really have someone out there? Let's go. Let's make it clear today. Kill all the demons and monsters. Anna Kipling pulled me away, and Sabina carried the hem of my skirt in the back. When I was in the car, Anna Kipling gave me a good analysis, and I didn't even know where to get a badminton racket. Saying that I wanted to do it, I pressed her impulsive heart. I don't think so. Don't be impulsive. That makes sense. Then I'm still hiding some badminton rackets. That's not what I meant. Eventually, Anna Kipling said firmly. Then I'm going to take it too. I'm going to see what he can't see, and he's going out at night. When I arrived at the place, I saw all the staff of the film crew gathered on the roof of the building. Next to me, Anna Kipling silently put down her badminton racket, but I quickly picked it up again, put it in my ear and asked, why does this camera keep shooting at you? They don't have the right expressions. What are they laughing at? I shook my head, indicating that I didn't know. Ha ha ha. The members of the filming crew worked hard to make this look so good. At night, the roof of the building overlooks the scattered high-rise buildings, and the lights flickering at night shine on the flower arch on the top floor. And when I reached the center, everyone consciously left to make way. Only the camera was pointed at me. Fireworks burst out brilliantly behind me. I looked back at the fireworks, and Colbert Cat came out and walked towards me. Colbert Cat got down on one knee with the ring in his hand and looked up at me. Miss Modesty Lori, will you marry me? At this point my family, friends, his family and friends all came out and clapped and shouted, marry him. Tears welled up for a while, and he asked a little tremblingly, Are you really here? The audience burst into laughter and the atmosphere was harmonious. At this time, Colbert Cat's eyes also reddened, and he was close to choking up when he said it. It's true. I've been preparing since 3 months ago. I originally proposed to you on that birthday, but I didn't expect it to be because of a misunderstanding. Miss Modesty Laurie, after accepting this ring, promise me that we will not be separated at any time. I stretched out my hand and laughed, and laughed and laughed happily. Colbert Cat stood up and placed the ring on my hand, hugging and kissing under a burst of laughter. The fireworks behind him burst out gorgeously. After the kiss, I realized that something was wrong. Colbert Cat smelled of alcohol. Sure enough, by the time the show ended, Colbert Cat was half asleep. When I asked, I found out that Colbert Cat had been drinking. It was only after Anna Kipling complained that Colbert Cat didn't tell her that Ron James gave me the video of the proposal. Aunt Anna Kipling, I told you what I didn't tell you. I told you. You've blocked both of us, and we've been worried for a while that you're not coming. Will you let me out? I turned on the video, and it started when we were done, and he ran all the way and said to Ron James, "We're back together. Today my wife wore a wedding dress. It was so beautiful, very beautiful. It's definitely a good day to propose, and I'm looking for a reason to call my wife over." The camera zooms into Colbert Cat's phone, and he taps it several times before deleting it. In the end, it was the members of the filming crew who came up with an idea for him. When I sent the message, the camera was pointed at his phone, but I kept staring at his trembling hand. After posting, Colbert Cat looked nervously at the camera and asked everyone, "That's fine, right? She shouldn't be able to see it, can she? Then how can I get her to come over in a wedding dress? Wouldn't that be too obvious?" Colbert Cat visibly fidgeted, standing up and pacing back and forth in the room. "Why doesn't my wife reply to messages? Will she not come? What if you don't come? What to do? She hasn't replied to me for 2 minutes. Does she see anything?" Then Colbert Cat tapped his phone for a while. "I've checked. This sign of hers doesn't like to talk. That's it, I'll wait." Finally, he grabbed the staff member's hand and asked, "It's been 5 minutes. What if she doesn't come, if she doesn't speak for 5 minutes? Who am I married? Air." Colbert Cat finally gave up struggling, and was always in the self-questioning phase. "No, I have to propose today. Why don't you reply to my message? Why don't we propose tomorrow?" "That's not going to work. I can't wait a day." After a while, a staff member rushed in. "I got the news that Miss Modesty Laurie is coming in this direction in her wedding dress." Colbert Cat, who was lying on the bed and was about to die, bounced out of the bed. "Really? Great. Don't wait until tomorrow." After being happy, Colbert Cat sat down again. "What if she doesn't agree?" No, she will agree. It's a big deal to propose once a day, and one day she will agree." The staff couldn't stand his fragmented thoughts and went out, and he was the only one talking to himself to the camera. "I'm so nervous. What should I do if I'm too nervous about proposing marriage for the first time? Which finger will you wear then?" "Yes, Baidu first. Get down on one knee. You have to remember to get down on one knee." I don't know what Colbert Cat thought, so she covered her face shyly, and smiled. The end of the kiss at the end. "Perfect. Ha ha ha." Finally, Colbert Cat pouted, imagining a kiss. Ron James opened the door. "What am I going to do?" Colbert Cat regained his expression and coughed solemnly. "Practice kissing. I thought you were some kind of demon on your body, and I almost threw glutinous rice on you." Finally, he drops the sentence, "Modesty Laurie is downstairs, ready to prepare." When Colbert Cat heard this, he slammed himself up from the bed, and moved his hands and feet. "I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous." Then his eyes drifted to the wine on the table, which had been bought by the staff to celebrate, but it fell. Colbert Cat took a sip of most of the bottle. It wasn't until the end that Ron James entered the door and saw the empty bottle, and slapped Colbert Cat without holding back a slap. After reacting, he stretched out his hand, and slapped his hand. Sin, you shouldn't be hit when you're angry," he yelled at Colbert Cat. "This time, if you miss it again, I'll see if Modesty Laurie ignores you." Colbert Cat looked nonchalant. "For the first time, I was so nervous that I drank to strengthen my courage. Don't say these bad things in the future. I won't be separated from her until I die." Colbert Cat straightened her tie and clothes, looked at herself in the mirror and walked to the stage. No one knew he was drinking. A few of us managed to get Colbert Cat into the car, and as soon as I got in the car, Colbert Cat pulled me and started talking. Wife, are we just two now? I'll tell you secretly. My abs are much better than before. I'll show you my abs. Do you want to touch it? I recently learned one from a blogger. Would you like to try it? Great. My proposal was successful. You're my wife. Can I kiss you now? I looked at Ron James, who was driving, and Ron James rolled his eyes. I can't see or hear, so whatever. Just don't me in the car. Colbert Cat leaned over innocently. Wife, kiss. Colbert Cat. All right, not dear. Suddenly a place in my heart softened, and I reached out to caress the eyebrows. His solid arms wrapped around my shoulders and neck. His thick eyelashes drooped, and he pried open his lips and kissed for a long time. We looked at each other and suddenly we all smiled. Colbert Cat said, "Do you want to make it public?" Rock, paper, scissors decided. The final answer is public. As soon as the promotional clip was broadcast, it directly rushed to the hot search list, swiped the major websites, and became the most popular CP group. Ditto me and Colbert Cat's live-action CP combo. I asked Colbert Cat in bed, when are we going to get married? Mom and Dad, they're already choosing a date. Colbert Cat propped his head and looked at me, as I was fixing my hair. How about our wedding in the fall? And the child's name? How about the child be called Boyce Cat in the future? Can I ask Anna Kipling not to sit at the main table? She's sitting at the same table with the kids. Why? She even suspects that there is someone outside of me. I sat down on the edge of the bed. No. Okay. I kissed Colbert Cat on the eyebrow. Look at him and there is only me in his eyes. The end.